Every year you set all of these goals in January, and then by February, you forget them. Let me show you a way to make sure that you accomplish all your goals in one year with ease, harmony, and grace. Go ahead and grab your pen and paper because you're definitely going to want to take notes. We have 3 different sections. First, let's talk about systems and routines. I like systems and routines because it's a way to make sure that you accomplish all your goals or develop your new habits, and you can roll multiple things into one time frame. And as long as you're committing to doing whatever it is that you need to do within that time frame, then you're good to go. And there are multiple ways that you can do this. First, let's think about your entire year. You may want to assign one goal to each month and then dedicate yourself to improving your life over a year in these different areas. Maybe you don't have 12 goals, maybe you have a shorter list and you want to assign each goal to a quarter or a season. If you're thinking about doing this, especially with the seasons, I would make sure that I place each goal in the season that is going to support me the most. So I know for me, in the spring and summer, I'm more active, I'm more outside. For the fall and winter, I am more inside. So more active, outward facing goals, I would place those probably somewhere in the spring or summer. And then goals that focus on me being in the house or me being centered or me being with myself doing that deeper work, may want to put those in the fall and winter. A way that I also like to use routines and systems, just a personal thing, I like to center what I'm doing around the moon. I get calendars that have the moon cycles on them or planners that have the moon cycles in them. And then each time I am shifting goals or working with a new area in my life, I will start that on the new moon and then carry that from new moon to new moon. I personally love using the moon cycles for goal achievement and self-transformation. It is a 28-day period. It's very standard and the cycles repeat. If you want me to make a video doing a deeper dive on why I like to use the moon cycles and how I like to use the moon cycles for self-care and goal achievement, just comment below and let me know. Number 2 is going to be motivation and inspiration. It's important to have the proper motivation and inspiration before you start. That way you ensure that you have the fuel that you need to make it all the way to the finish line. Throughout the journey, you should expect obstacles and you should expect challenges and even plan for them. But it's also important that you have the motivation and inspiration, the why, in order to drive you and move you forward through those difficult times. So when you make your goals, check them against these 3 journaling prompts. The first one is going to be consider your why. Why do you want this? What is it going to get you? The second journaling prompt is what is going to happen in your life once you do accomplish this goal or make this change. It's going to give you something positive to look for. So some positive motivation or positive inspiration. And the third one is going to be what negative impact will not accomplishing this goal have on my life? Or even what's the worst thing that could happen to me if I don't accomplish this goal? This is negative motivation or negative inspiration. Sometimes we understand those positive reasons and we know that we want them, but it's still not enough to make you go. What comes to my mind is people who have health issues or are trying to change their diet or are trying to change some type of health situation. Sometimes that can be a bit difficult. And the negative motivation and negative inspiration is also very helpful for any habit that's really deeply ingrained, like you have a very strong emotional attachment to it, and it's a bit difficult for you to make that shift. And the third thing that you can do in order to accomplish all your goals in one year is to cultivate balance. This has been something that's popped up in my life over the past few years, and I also see it in the lives of a lot of people I work with. Many people are very focused on their goals and very focused on setting new intentions and changing habits and breaking habits and doing shadow work and doing this practice and doing. This is a very masculine energy, a very masculine approach to transformation. And this constant doing puts a lot of pressure on you mentally and physically. It puts a lot of stress on you mentally and physically. And it's important to understand that when it's time to take a break, it is time to take a break. When it is time to go, it's time to go. Sometimes we have a misuse of our energy. When it may be time for you to rest, you don't feel like resting. So you may overwork and overwhelm and overstress yourself. And then it leads to the point where you're experiencing a lot of exhaustion, a lot of setback. So it's important for as much doing as you are engaging in, create and cultivate balance through practices of non-doing. The best practice of non-doing that I can think of is called Yoga Nidra, or is the practice of psychic sleep. It's an ancient meditative practice that hijacks the body's natural sleep system. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing a sense of peace and calmness to overcome the body, and you learn to activate that state and then rest in it. It's very useful for cultivating balance, calming the nervous system, even making major transformations in your life mentally, emotionally, coping with things like depression or anxiety or even certain addictions. If you are interested in the practice of Yoga Nidra, I'm going to include my free Create Your Own Sankalpa guide in the description box below. The Sankalpa is a tool that you use, a strong statement of intention or desire that you use in the Yoga Nidra practice to help customize the practice to you and your needs. And if you are looking at how to develop meaningful, positive, impactful goals and create major transformation in your life, I'm going to include my personal inventory inquiry in the description box below. This workbook is strategically designed. It's a fillable workbook so that you can type directly in it, or you can simply answer the questions in your own journal. It has more than 50 pages divided into the 7 areas of life: health and fitness, relationships, career, finance, personal development, spirituality, and recreation. The self-exploration questions build upon one another, and it has a system that allows you to excavate and explore your personal life experiences and then figure out what goals or what shifts or what changes in each area that you can make in order to achieve more balance and more harmony in your life. Once again, I'll include that information in the description box below. Go ahead and check it out, and while you're down there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. And in the meantime, here are 2 more videos that YouTube thinks that you would enjoy.